You know, the time always comes when preparation and passion meet the manifestation. And here we are at the manifestation. Just in case you guys didn't know, this is Willie Epting Jr., and I got my sissy from another Missy, Nichole Walker. And this is the debut of the Her Name Is podcast. Nichole, how are you feeling?
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna get into it here in just a moment. We're gonna tell everybody. We're just gonna give you're gonna give the story behind Her Name Is, what you look forward to it doing, who you're trying to reach, the purpose of it, and we're gonna announce at the end of the show the days that it is going to air. So, with that being said, I think it is time for us to go ahead and get this thing rolling. What say you? All right. She said, let's go. So I'm saying, let's go. So what that means is, let's go.
She's a what's her name? What's her? What her name? What's her? She's a what's her name? What's her? Allow her to introduce herself. Her name is...
I like that. It turned out really nice.
Shout out to the dopest engineer on the ShakeBack Media Group. That is Patrice Epting and yours truly, of course. All right, Nichole, how are you doing, my sissy?
I am doing well. I'm so excited about this. This has been a long time coming. So I'm ready.
Well, and I was going to say, if you're not ready, you better get ready because I don't do nothing halfway. My daddy taught me this a long time ago. I don't do nothing halfway. So we're going to be all in all the time with this brand new show presented, of course, by the ShakeBack Media Group. And we are very, very proud to have you part of the SBMG family. Like you said, this has been a long time coming, and I might be the second most excited person about this particular project because I know your story or somewhat, but I'm really ready for you to talk about Her Name Is, where the vision came from, and all those great things. So let's just start there, Nichole. Her name is, and she's got the stuff behind her. She has to do it on her screen. There you go. She's got all she's got her shirts behind her. So let's hear it. Let's let the people. Oh, before we do that, thank you guys for checking us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube through the big homie, DH Impact Media's YouTube channel. Rest in peace, Darian. I miss you, brother. Through the Instagram TV for ShakeBack Media Group. And of course, Twitter. I let Patrice say that one time, and she sounded better to me. But anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's talk about the whole Her Name Is. Where did it come from?
So every time you talk about, you meet somebody or you see somebody playing, you be like, oh man, what's her name? Who's that? And so it was so funny. So I was working a game at one of the high schools, and one of the players came and it's like, hey, Miss Ralph. And I was like, hey. And I was like, wait a minute. And so even though I did not remember her name, I remember she played and she was a pretty good little player. And so everybody always want to know the best player on the court or the person that's doing something on the court. The coaches always come over and go, hey, do you know who that is? What's her name? And I was like, I don't know. So one thing that you learn in marketing is you want something that's catchy and something that people are going to remember. Mm-hmm. And one thing that is they always want to know what's her name. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to go with that. And so I was sitting there, and I'll be honest with you, I just, when God started putting this in my spirit, I was like, okay, you gonna have to give me a name for a show, because I don't know what you want me to call this. And so that's when somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, what's her name?" I'm like, okay, what's her name?
See, let me just chime in real quick, because this is kind of funny. And I don't mean funny like in hilarious. I mean funny like in
ironic.
Did that really happen?
Yeah.
Because we know God has a sense of humor. And it just goes to show you that something can come out of, or there can be a result from not knowing something.
Yeah.
So when
that's a legitimate statement.
So when people are asking you what's her name, you like, I don't know. But now everybody is about to know what her name is because of the vision that God has given you. And before we actually get to the vision of that, in the intro, there were a couple of photos that that came across there. So I would like for you to explain to the people and just give them your background, going all the way back to when those pictures were taken up until the present time of this production.
So I am, I grew up in a family of women, right? And my great grandmother was born during slavery time. And in that time, she was a school teacher. They taught slaves learned at night, right? While they worked during the daytime, they learned at night. And so one of the things that was instilled in the women in my family is education, right? They didn't tell you how you was going to get it. Nobody had any money to pay for it, but they instilled education. And I'm sure everybody parent and said, learn, baby, learn, so you could earn, baby, earn.
Mm.
So how was baby going to learn? Because there was no money for education. So my oldest brother played basketball. And so he did something. I was like, I could show him how to do this. Anybody that play basketball know basketball is not an easy sport. So I took interest in basketball because of my oldest brother and his high school girlfriend at the time. And so I learned my freshman year. I said, oh, they give scholarships for this? Oh, okay, wait a minute. I may need to take this a little bit more serious. And so after my freshman season, I went up to the varsity coach. I said, look here, how do I get on your team? To the JV squad? I'm not doing that. So how do I make it to varsity? And she was like, okay, something that people didn't know, inner city kids, well, we have access to alcohol. So I did start indulging in alcohol at an early age, but she never put me on blast. She was just like, you got to stop doing what you're doing. I was like, bet. I didn't drink anymore and started putting more work into basketball and learning how to play and developing my craft. And so my sophomore year, I started on varsity. And so these shirts behind me is called Books, Ball, God Before All for a reason. My sophomore year, I got a little bit full of myself and I did not make the grade. So I was on academic eligibility for 9 weeks. So I had to learn real quick that if you don't get in those books, you won't get to play ball. Mm. So I set out 9 weeks. I came back tougher, stronger than ever. Then my junior year, my mother moves me from one side of the town to the other side of the town.
Which was what city?
Houston, Texas. So she moved me from the suburb. First of all, I grew up in the inner city. So that's Fifth Ward.
Shout out to the 5.
Shout out to the 5. She moves me over to the suburbs where I'm the only little brown skinned girl in majority of my classes. Then we got a house and we moved over to Greenspoint, over to the north side. And so where still the hood. No, I'm joking. It was but went to Aldine my junior year, walked in the gym. The coach said, took one look at me. She goes, I already got my squad. I said, let me run with you. Well, I already got my squad. Coach, come on, let me run with you. What is it gonna hurt? I don't have any clothes for you. Anybody know a real baller come what?
Prepared.
You ain't gotta have no clothes for me. Now what? I said, let me run with you. You already got your team. What is it going to hurt you to let me run with you? Right. So fourth period, get dressed, get out there on the court. Everybody's looking because I'm about 120 on Taco Tuesday.
Y'all know
So
about Taco Tuesday in Texas.
So when I had to tell you that I was lanky, I was long, as those pictures showed. So after we finished running, fourth period, she looked at me, she walked up to me, she said, "What number you wear?" I said, "You already got your team." She said, she looked at me, I looked at her. She said, "What number you wear?" I said, 22. I turned around and walked out. She said, "I don't have a 22. You will." I went to the locker room and got dressed. When we came back and they came out with them uniforms for team pictures, she had a number what?
Deuce.
She had a number 22. So you ain't gonna tell me what you don't have. And what's really silly, which is really funny, is our starting lineup that year was 21, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Come on, you ain't gonna tell me what you don't have. You're gonna find a 22. God rest her soul. I love Coach Macomb. That was my coach. But yeah. So with that, got scholarships offers, went to JUCO. We're going to talk about that a little bit because I want to also reach out to my JUCO girls, let them know that ain't the end of the world. That's just the start. Went to junior college. I did not graduate. However, they got this thing called JUCO All-Star. So I actually fractured my ankle going into my sophomore season. And I just kind of chilled out and just worked. And basketball just stayed on my heart. And I was like, my grandmother was, I just looked at the job I had. I was like, yeah, this ain't cutting it. And so I went back up to the gym and just started shooting around with the coach. And the coach was like, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm like, "What you mean what I'm doing? We shooting around, And he was like, "No, what you doing for his ball?" I was like, "Nothing." But I had started going back to college. And he's like, come play for me. So when I came back during Christmas time, he had a whole squad. I was like, I'm not understanding why he want me to come play with him. He got like 12 players. Well, little did I know, he really didn't have 12 players. They could play because they were in and out that period. But when January came, they were not eligible. I walked in the gym. Mind you, he had 12. I walked in the gym to 5 and I made 6. I was like, in my mind, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And so, and my point guard is pregnant.
Oh my goodness. Sidra from Loving Basketball.
Oh, so we got out there with the 6 of us, and I mean only 5 of us, praying the pack was don't nobody fall out because the girl sitting on the bench, we put her all the way down the court. Nobody played defense on her. I kept hearing the ball go pow. I was like, oh no, she did not catch the ball. After a couple of times that ball hitting the wall, we looked at each other. All 5 of us looked at each other. We just made a pact. It was a quiet pact. We just made a pact. Let's just ball out. We took everybody to overtime. And the coaches were like, man, you ain't got but 5 players, but we played our tail feathers off that year. And from that opportunity, from coming back playing basketball that year, I made the All-Star game and I ended up getting a scholarship to university and graduating with my bachelor's and getting my master's.
Wow. So the story or the moral of the story is what?
The moral of the story is get your books. That's important. The books keep you on the court. Stay focused. It's easy to lose focus. Oh, he looks good, or whatever your taste may be. Oh, he fine, because he's fine. But nonetheless, get your book. Stay the course. If you stay focused, you can go anywhere you want to go. I'm not telling you not to have fun, but you do have to stay focused first and get your books and then get your ball, because that's what got you. That's what got you there, to get the education. And then just don't give up on you. If you don't bet on nobody else, bet on yourself. But you have to understand what that entails. And that means you got to handle your business on and off the court.
So in the grand scope of your life, beginning from where you talked about as a freshman in high school to actually getting to play and graduating with a bachelor's, how much time went by between that time?
Actually, about I graduated at 18 and I went to Harding at 22. So in that time, I went to school from turned 19 because I'm a summer kid. So I turned 19. So about 2 years.
No. From high school,
Uh-huh.
sophomore in high school
Uh-huh.
to by the time you finish, got your bachelor's. Well, how much time was that?
Ooh. You talking about 80? You talking about sophomore year in high school. So we talking about 87. So that's 10. That's 10. I graduated college in 97.
You know what?
For my sophomore year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's about 10. I did take the scenic route. Mind you, I didn't work. I didn't go to school for 2 years. I set out.
Mm-hmm.
I set out. But I knew that the job I had was not the job for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
and what was that job?
I actually worked at Holiday Inn, Intercontinental Holiday Inn in Houston, Texas. That's not sit off of Beltway 8.
Mm-hmm.
And so I worked that job for about two years. And my grandparents owned their own janitorial business. So I was working there in the daytime and then worked in the nighttime with my grandmother cleaning office buildings.
Oh my goodness. So needless to say, that was not what's up.
No. No, not at all. Not at all. That was not going to be yeah.
So along that journey, and especially when it got real tough there, especially when you were out of basketball,
mm-hmm.
Where did your encouragement come from in terms of a mentor or a motivational person that helped you get back onto track?
You know, the one thing I have to say, my mom, God rest her soul, she didn't push it. Like I thought she was gonna like really like be in my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I can honestly tell you, like my mom didn't push it. But you know how like your parents don't have to say something, but the one thing she said is that I want better for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember her saying that we were sitting there. So on Fridays, my mom Kroger's would have the snow crab legs on sale. And so my mom would be like, hey, I'm going to pick up some crab legs. I'm like, okay. So I knew that meant to get the garlic butter ready, the mashed potatoes and what have you. So we were actually sitting there in the kitchen eating dinner. And so my mom just looked at me. She said, I want better for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I knew what that meant without her having to go any further.
Mm-hmm.
Right. How was I going to make that happen? I didn't know, but I knew. That's why I tell people stay the course. You're going to get bumped off. You're going to fall down. It's what you do next is what matters. And so I went up to San Jack. Now, mind you, the coach that I was recruited by was no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
They had the assistant coach from U of H, from the women's side. He had taken the head coaching job at San Jack. And so he had recruited me. It was on the recruiting process at U of H. But I ended up going to San Jack instead. And so I just looked and I just went up to the gym and just started shooting around with him. Now, mind you, this is how I had no intentions of doing this. I had on K-Swiss.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let's talk to the young people real quick about K-Swiss.
Old school white ones
with the 5 stripes.
Yeah, you better know it. I still got them in the closet, matter of fact.
And you know those K-Swiss, they were like bricks.
Like for the young people, they were like the Air Force Ones, no arch support, just flat.
Pretty much.
And they were low quarters.
Yeah, and they went with everything because they were all white.
All white.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
And so I went up there actually just to kind of shoot breeze. I actually went to go register. Mm-hmm. And so when I went to go register, the secretary at the athletic department, she looked at me and she was like, Nichole? I was like, oh my God, hey. And so I walked over to the gym with her and she said, come meet the new women's coach. I was like, okay, cool. So I went in there and I met him, Coach Ryan, and met him. And then next thing you know, we in the gym shooting baskets or playing one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I started back going to school, and then I had went to the gym for something, and that's when he asked me, hey, you want to come back to play?
Yeah. So from there, obviously you finished playing ball in college, and you got your bachelor's, and then you got your master's. So you fast forward a little bit to not the present day, but it's close to the present. Well, I'll just say to the point to where you and I became friends, which of course we met at church, the big ACC, led by, of course, the incomparable and the masterful and the dynamic duo of Dr. Pastor NQ, that's what I call him, and Dr. Pastor Tanya McGill, the big ACC. So from what has been the road like, or I'm sorry, because I know there's some officiating going on in there somewhere, right? So that's what I want to. That's the part I want to get you to now.
Okay, so I coached basketball. I taught skills. And so of course, I played. Once I got off the court, I continued to play. Tried out for the WNBA when it first started. So we're part of the inaugural season for the Phoenix Mercury, and so that was my next stop. Was like, hey, you've done everything else. What else you think you can do with this little orange ball? And so I said, I want to see if I could referee. And so I came here and started, went and met some people and just asked questions and started refereeing. And so started refereeing middle school, high school, and then met Victoria Francis and a couple other ladies and just started kind of climbing the ladder from there. Just starting to have a little bit more ambitious, but it was still like put on my heart to just like, I people don't know this, but I do like a evaluation report. So a scouting report when I'm watching kids warm up and I'm watching this, that, and another. And so if I'm somewhere at a college, I'd be like, hey, have you seen this kid over here or this kid over there? And so they're like, oh, no, or something. So I don't know whatever would have become of it, but just watching kids. And I think that just stems from like in my generation, we scouted, when meaning that if I had to go play against somebody, right, I already evaluated, like in my mind, how am I going to play this person? I'm looking at their style of play, right? So it just became a habit. And I still do that to this day, even as an official. I look at somebody do something, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what she does. Oh, okay, this is what she does. And so like for my thing was, I automatically knew when somebody was left-handed because I grew up with a left-handed mother. So it was instantly when I saw the left hand, I'm like, oh, she left-handed. Oh, I know exactly how to guard her. Or, and so I do that even now, do a scouting report on kids because I need to know how to officiate you, right? Oh, this is what you like to do. Now, all of a sudden you've been out here shooting threes and all of a sudden you go in there trying to shoot a layup and wind up on your butt or tripping over your own feet. And they looking at me, I'm like, that's not what you do. You shoot threes. But having that gift has helped me, to officiate players and watch what they do and look at their different talents and stuff.
And how long have you been an official?
I have been an official 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So because I got a feeling that people out there, or maybe it's just me, and I asked Victoria this question. Shout out to Victoria Francis, of course, another member at the Big ACC, who's also an official, and she got a lot of great things going on. She be officiating, and the rest. So I asked her this question when I had her on back whenever it was. What goes through your mind when people say that the games are rigged? The referees are in on the rigging. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
You know, my mother and used to say this all the time, that it's better to sit up and look like a fool than open your mouth and to remove all doubts. Because here's my thing. Parents are looking at their kid and they're looking at their kids' teams.
Mm-hmm.
So you got one child you invested in. I have however many kids is on a team I'm invested in. I don't care. I don't show up for the wins and losses. I come as basically a spectator because I want to see a good game. So we really don't have a dog in the fight. It's no matter who win or lose, our paycheck, if they want to talk about money, still looks the same. We go into overtime, you still get the same. So we don't even, it's not about the money. At this point, now, don't get me wrong, in the beginning, it was about the money because I moved here from Little Rock, Arkansas to Dallas. That's an economical shift.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm well past that point, and I'm to the point that I want to be good at what I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so when people say that, it used to hurt my feelings until I look at the person that's saying it. I'm like, yeah, your stomach is sitting in your lap and you need to be out here too. But we don't care. We really are there for everybody to do a good job for the sport that we are chosen. Mm-hmm. That's it. We don't care who win or lose. We just want to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And if your child loses, I'm sorry. It's part. Somebody gonna be a winner. Somebody gonna be a loser. But that's never my intent. Is like, oh, this is so and so, and we expect them to win. What? Mm-hmm. No, you're gonna have to play to win. I'm not giving you the game. That's, and I had one college coach. He said, I was standing next to him, and I had my whistle in my mouth, and he said something, and I moved my whistle over to the side. I said, "There's no way you mad at us right now." And he sat there, and I said, "We didn't miss one assignment. We didn't take not one bad shot. We did not ignore the play you asked them to run. Mm-hmm. We're not out here jacking up stuff, doing our own thing. So there is no way you mad at us right now." Right?
Maybe he was looking for some help.
So he sits there and he goes, "You're right." He calls my supervisor, and my supervisor goes, "What did you tell him?" I said, "There was no way he was mad at us. I hear you telling your kids to run a play. They don't run it. So that's not on me. Mm-hmm. I didn't miss that shot. Mm-hmm. I didn't go foul that girl on shooting a layup. But I got to put air in the whistle because she went over there and knocked the snot out of her.
Right.
Give her and one. No, I just like for her to make a little layup and run back."
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, is that people don't realize we work regardless of what the score is and who won. We sincerely work.
Yeah. And I think that's the part that we as fans sometimes, or probably a lot of times, forget that you guys you're out there doing a job, and there is no favoritism or any of those things, especially on that level. A couple comments here. Shout out to the big homie John Dijon, reposted the stream, man. I appreciate you so very much. Of course, you guys can bring your questions and comments to Nichole My girl Lulu, the cowboy, the Bama cowboy. She reposted the stream. She's a crazy Cowboys and Alabama fan. So thank you guys for checking in. Make sure you guys go out there and retweet and all those other great things. So we're going to move forward because I know there's a couple other things that we need to get to include the airing of the show and all of that. But let's get to the vision and where, let me put it this way. Her name is going to do what and for who? Fill in the blanks.
Her name is going to provide a platform for all female high school athletes, not just basketball, but all female athletes, to give you the opportunity to talk about yourself, to talk about your skill set, and to get you in front of college coaches. Here's the thing. College coaches can't be everywhere at one time, but we can definitely provide a one-spot shop. So that means if you're looking for a basketball player, volleyball player, or whatever, this opportunity is going to be out there for everyone, to be able, all females, to be able to introduce yourself, to talk yourself up. I'm not going to say sell yourself, but to talk yourself up, to say, hey, why do I need to be on your team and why do you need to be considered? Because here's the thing. There are so many times that we walk into these colleges and I see somebody and I'm like, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? No, they didn't know how to get out there and to be able to put themselves out there, right? Mm-hmm. I talk about my mom a lot. My mom, I remember we were in the Buick LeSabre and my mom took me.
Wait a minute. As they say in Louisiana, a Buick.
A brewery.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not all Louisianians say that, but anyway, go ahead.
So my mom took me. I mean, there was a tryout. My mom took me when I got ready to leave San Jack. My coach took me to different tryouts at different schools and stuff like that. So I just want to provide that same opportunity to all female high school athletes. I just want you to know you have a village. You have people rooting for you. I don't have to personally know you, clothe you, feed you, or any of that to still be rooting for you.
Mm-hmm. And when you approached me about this, it's so funny. I don't even remember how many months ago it was, but it's been in production for a while.
Oh, wow.
And the great Pastor Nero Foster preached today at our church, and he talked about so many things that have been that actually are really relative to everything that you have said up to this point. Mm-hmm. So I have no doubt that this is a mandate from our Savior that this has to be done. And when you approached us about it and it was like, this is what I want to do, I was like, shoot, say less. I'm all in. And what I love most about it is giving an opportunity, giving a platform for athletes, female athletes, who I am such a big fan of the female athletic system. I don't know much about lacrosse and soccer and all those things, but basketball and softball and even volleyball to a little bit of a degree, I was like, okay, this is going to be on. And I just want to tell you, thank you for following the heart of Jesus, that he had, what he has for you, and all those great things. And one other thing I want to say before I ask one more question, and then we talk about when the show is going to air and how people can contact you and all those things. When the oh my gosh, I forgot what I was going to say just that quick. Oh my God. Okay, let me do this. Let me go to the questions I'm going to ask, and maybe it'll jog my memory. Oh no, here it is right here. See, it was that quick. This is not just a platform for female athletes. Let me put it this way: female student athletes.
Right.
This is just not a platform for them to get themselves out there in terms of highlight reels and all these other great things. This is also going to be a platform where you learn how to deal with the media.
Yes.
Because if you're going to be it doesn't matter what type, if you're a 1-star or a 5-star prospect, you're going to have to learn at some point how to deal with the media. And that is why this marriage between Her Name Is and the ShakeBack Media Group is going to last forever.
Yes. So my thing about that is it takes a village, right? It takes a village. I had a high school coach. I told you guys that I transferred my junior year, and she had this one player since her freshman year. And so she was putting her out there. And, my thing is, man, I'm working my tail off, and, it's not a rebound that goes up. I don't get, that's not a post move. Thank you, Akeem Olajuwon, that I didn't do. And baby, the dream shake, you better know it. Clyde Drexler with that jump shot. Let's go. I learned how to finger roll in the front of the rim watching those guys. But I just want people to know that you have a village, and it takes a village to help your dreams come true. And so this is what's interesting. When God was giving me all this, I was not a member of Antioch. I actually was a member of another church. And I felt like I wasn't being fed there. And so I just started visiting churches. And it's interesting because I had made the comment. I said, you know what, if Sarah Jake Roberts become the pastor at the Potter's house, I'm gone. I'm going to the Potter's house, and love her to death. I have not been to the Potter's house because when I got to Antioch and saw Pastor Tanya and how relatable that they are, they share their family with us, and they want to be a part of our family. And so then that's when I felt like I was at home. Like I found my home where I want to go to church because I'm being fed and led. And then Willie came across my path, and Victoria, she told me, he's starting a production group. I was like, what? And I just kind of like started getting to know you and just saying hi, and then just kind of started building a rapport. And then that way, when everything came together, I could come and talk to you about my the vision that God had given me.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic. I have been blessed by our friendship, and through those great pastors, and whenever I text them, I always say, I always lead off, great shepherds. And they are just that. And I agree with you 100% that the leadership that they give and the word that they teach, I have never been fed at a church the way that I have been fed at this church. And I've been going there now for almost 15 years, and I'm still hanging in. So they haven't kicked me out just yet, but sometimes I think they may have wanted to, but that's another story for another day. Okay, so one question.
Okay.
The question is, where does Let's Go come from? Everybody, wait. Real quick. When we say let's go, it means a myriad of things, right? It could mean let's go home. Let's go and get out of this bad relationship. Let's go and get out of this terrible job. Let's go and start this business. But for Nichole Walker, what does let's go mean?
So let's go is my hype. And so I'm trying not to be as hyped as I normally am. Like if you see a kid and they, like girls, we have a certain swag about us. And when that person go and they make that layup, or they got their shot, or that's a nice move, in my mind, I'm like, let's go, because I'm like, I didn't come here to watch a bunch of fouls and on the floor and call a bunch of hell balls. I came to watch some moves, some jump shots, some passes. So whenever I see the kids light bulbs starting to go off, right? And they starting to get it and everything. And they starting to get their swag. Because you got to remember, we see these kids from middle school to them starting to come into their own and starting to grow and develop. So when you see a kid that you've been knowing for that length of time, they do something, you be like, let's go. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, something is happening here. So that's my hype, right? So there's going to be a segment that we're going to do that's called Let's Go. Here's the thing. Let's Go is going to talk about the key matchups of the week, right? Because coaches want to know who's playing who, right? So we want to talk about the key matchups of the week. So that gives the college coaches an opportunity to know who's playing who, what time, what day, what have you. All right. The next thing we're going to have is I don't believe in MVP. Oh, this is the MVP of the week. Yeah, that's great. We're going to do in basketball, it's going to be the starting five. I believe that if you over here working hard and this girl over there working hard and this girl over there working hard, why I can't have a starting five? I got to pick one. I'm not doing that. We're going to have a starting five. Volleyball, we're swinging six because there's 6 people on the court at a time. We're swinging 6 on volleyball. Okay. Other sports, this is why I didn't want to pigeonhole it. I'm ride or die basketball. We talk about basketball all day. We talk about volleyball. Even though I wasn't the best volleyball player, I have learned the court volleyball because I also officiate volleyball, high school and college. But I didn't want to pigeonhole the show because I want to talk about everybody, whether you flag football in it, you running track, you are shot putting, whatever it is. I want to talk about everybody because guess what? I don't know that much about other sports. But to keep the show going, flowing, interesting, this is where the other kids come in. They get to come in and teach us something. Eventually I want to be able to do the show full time. And that means I'm going to go to schools and you're going to have to show me how to swing a golf club because I'm a great putter. Darn it, and a good court driver. But if I got to hit that little thing, that ball off the tee, that golf club gonna fly one way and the ball going another. However,
join the club.
I am down for tennis, swimming. We are everybody, right? So this is why I don't want to be just about 1 or 2 sports. I want to be about all of it because I did a survey and there are kids that like volleyball players. They were like, hey, if we didn't play club, well, everybody can't afford to play club. You know what? How about we bring the coaches in and be able to see some of everybody, right? So, so we're gonna get out there. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna learn about some things. We're gonna learn about a whole lot of things that we don't know about.
I'm here for it, and I appreciate you allowing me to produce this and latching to the train that is Her Name Is. Now, the show. We will be doing the show. Fill in the blank. What day? Time.
So this is summer ball, and like I was explaining, these girls are traveling. They're playing, right? And I don't want to interfere with that. You need to focus on that, especially now we get into the NCAA recruiting time where coaches can come out and watch and spectate and maybe hold a conversation. We are going to kick off on Tuesdays. I'm hoping people are back home. They're situated, got a little laundry done, what have you. And so Tuesdays, we're going to kick off. And so when school starts back, then we'll try to go back to Sundays where it's a little bit more subtle.
All right. So a couple things. Number one, we're not going to pigeonhole the show. You said kickoff. We're going to kick off, tip off, have a tea time, first pitch,
tennis,
jump ball, whatever else is out there. That's what we
pull a flag because hey, we got flag football kicking out. I wish I could have played flag football. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I know, right? I wish I could play anything right now, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so yeah, very exciting stuff about that. And I got one question before you give out your socials. Today is June 22nd. You mentioned earlier the number 22.
22.
What is the affliction? I shouldn't have said that. What's the fixation? What is the love affair with the number 22?
So my high school, first high school varsity coach at Northbrook High School, that was her number. Her number was 22. And I grew up with five Sonoma Jamma. And so Clyde Drexel, one of my favorite players besides Akeem Olajuwon, and Clyde wore number 22. And so she gave me number 22. He wore number 22. And my favorite football player Mr. Emmitt Smith wears number 22, and so 22 is one of my favorite numbers, and that was my jersey number up until college.
Shout out to James Patrick and Florence Carmela. They are really good friends of the ShakeBack Media Group and of mine. They had an opportunity to interview Mr. Emmitt Smith not that long ago. Make sure you guys go out there and follow them on Twitter as well. Okay, so social media information. We need to build this up for Her Name Is. So let's go. Let's have it.
Her Name Is. So Instagram is Her Name Is. So it had a black logo, black circle with the white writing. I could not put the acronym in there because the screens was not that big. You can email me. Her name is 222@gmail.com for interviews. Make sure you talk it over with your parents because it's a village. We don't do anything without them. You need them. And I want people to know that you have a village. And that's very important when it comes down to recruiting, is that they need to know you have a village and how strong your village is. Also, we have a YouTube channel and the website. The website is hernameis.me. It'll have my story on there. It'll have our mission statement on there, and as well as we'll have other things where we'll be able to put the videos where coaches can go and be able to get in contact, see your interview if they missed it, get your information and how to contact you. Just everything. We're just trying to make it very beneficial for the kids, because it's not about us. We're not getting paid anything. This is about helping young ladies and family dreams come true with the opportunity to play at the next level,
and to provide the platform and give a voice for those that otherwise may not have that opportunity. So very, very excited for everything that's going on with that. So any final thoughts before we bounce up out of here?
Hey, always bet on yourself. If I'm willing to bet on you and invest in you and see the bright future that you have, I want you to be able to see the bright future you have too. Somebody said the statement, other people can see how good you are. They're kind of hoping that you don't see it. But what I want to teach you is I want you to believe in yourself and see how good you are. And
great work. Great words. Okay. We're going to wrap this thing on up. It has been a joy, a pleasure, and a privilege. Thank you guys out there for tuning in. Almost 200 people are watching us right now, so we thank you for that. The podcast or the audio version will be up on all of your podcast platforms within a day. So again, we thank you. And I got to give Nichole the clap.
I'm going to share that clap with God, because I'm telling you, he did it. I always wanted to know how could I help. And we talked about our spiritual gifts, which is funny because we always talk about that. And so that was one of my things, is that when I saw that was what my spiritual gift was, I was like, absolutely. Because I just want to help.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it is time for us to roll out. So this is how we do. This is how Nichole does it. This is how Willie does it. And we're going to continue on. The next episode will be July 1st at a time to be determined. So make sure you guys go look out for that for Nichole, for Willie. This has been Her Name Is the debut, rather. And y'all take care of each other. Y'all hug each other. And we'll hug y'all again. So peace. We out.
Awesome.